Hey guys, how's it going? It's Janie over here at Janie Sweets, and in this episode I'm coming at you with a recipe for how I made my caramel pumpkin spice cake. So if you want to learn how I made this, keep on watching. So to begin, I have 9 ounces of flour in a stand mixer. To that I'm going to add 4 ounces of brown sugar and 5 ounces of regular sugar. I'm also going to add 1 tablespoon of pumpkin spice and 1.5 tablespoon or teaspoons of baking soda, and let it mix until it is completely incorporated, or you can also sift all these ingredients together. Once that's done, I'm going to add in my room temperature butter. So that's just 1 stick of butter that I've cut up into little cubes, and I'm going to add it to the mixture a little bit at a time. And I'm going to also add about 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, and I'm going to let it mix until everything looks like wet sand. Once that's there, I'm going to add 1/3 of my wet ingredients. My wet ingredients are 1/4 cup of vegetable oil, a cup of buttermilk, and 3 large eggs. And I've just mixed everything together, added about 1/3 of it to my dry ingredients, and I'm going to let it mix on high speed for about 2 minutes. That's very important because you want to make sure that your cake is super fluffy and you don't want to end up with a dense and flat cake. If you skip that step, you will ruin the entire cake. So definitely don't do that. Once your batter is pale and fluffy, you can go ahead and start adding in the rest of your wet ingredients. And then at this point, you can also add in your pumpkin puree. Make sure you don't use pumpkin pie filling and you just use regular pumpkin puree. So it's just a 15-ounce can of that stuff, and I'm going to just add it to my batter and mix it on low speed until everything is incorporated and it looks kind of like baby food almost. I guess that's the best description that I have for it. Once it looks like that, you can go ahead and divide your batter into your pans. I have here 3 7-inch pans, but you can use 2 8-inches or 2 9-inches, really whatever you want, or even a bundt pan. But keep in mind that your time will vary, but do not change the temperature. You want to bake this at 350 degrees and then keep checking it until you feel that it's springy to the touch. I've baked mine for 30 minutes, but each oven is different, so definitely check yours for doneness. And once it springs back up, you know it's done. You can let it cool. While my cake was cooling, I went ahead and prepared a batch of my easy meringue buttercream. If you haven't checked out the video, I will link it for you guys in the description below. And I just stole a little piece because it was too delicious to resist. Here I am using an ATECO tip. When I find it, I will link it for you guys below. And I wanted to use that because I'm gonna leave the sides of my cake bare, and I wanted it to have a funky design, so that's why I did it that way. And I'm also going to drizzle a little bit of my homemade caramel in the middle for a little bit of added sweetness, and then I'm going to repeat the same process with my second layer of cake. So just cut off the top and then go ahead and layer it on top of the other cake. And make sure you don't press too hard because you don't want to ruin the design that you made on the side with your tip. So just go ahead and continue doing that. If you're watching this in HD, you can kind of see the little speckles in the buttercream, and that's just pumpkin pie spice that I've added to the buttercream just to add a little bit more flavor and also a little bit more interest. If you're interested in learning how to make homemade caramel, I can definitely show you guys if you pop me a request in the comment section below. And yeah, I'd be happy to show you how I made this caramel, but definitely any caramel will do. You can also use store-bought and it'll be just as good. So go ahead and ice the top of your cake smooth and continue doing the same design with your ATECO tip. I decided to just go with dots, but you can also go with rosettes if you wanted to. And yeah, I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's your cake. Whatever you want to do with it will work just fine. So I have here my caramel that I've put into a piping bag, and I'm using that to drizzle it exactly where I wanted it to. I didn't want to use my spoon because that would be kind of hard to control. With the piping bag, I have a little bit more control, and I can decide where I want it to go. So I am using that same piping bag to kind of squeeze some in between the layers because I wanted it to look like it was oozing out of the cake. So once that's done, guys, this is how the cake came out. I really enjoyed this cake. It was super delicious, very moist, and it definitely tasted like fall. It was just amazing. So definitely let me know if you enjoyed this video by giving it a thumbs up, sharing it with your friends and family. Pop me any requests in the comment section below, you guys. You guys are starting to interact with me, and I absolutely love it. So definitely keep the requests coming, and I will definitely do my best to make the videos for you. Check out my last video if you click on this annotation right over there. You can find me on Instagram as well as on Facebook. All my socials are at Janie Sweets. Subscribe to the channel so that you do not miss any future videos. And that is it for this Tuesday's tutorial, guys. Love ya. Talk to you next time.